When a man looks back and says, that was the best sex of my life, what do you think he's actually remembering? Is it the specific position, the length of time it lasted, how wild it got? We often assume men define great sex purely by physical intensity, but here's the truth. None of those things are what really stick with him. What he's remembering is how he felt. That's the secret most people miss. Because for a man, great sex is never just about what you do to his body. It's about what you do to his mind. It's the feeling you give him during and after that moment that decides whether it was forgettable or unforgettable. You could give him every technique in the world. If he doesn't feel this deeper layer, he'll walk away saying, yeah, it was good, but I'll never forget that. And let me be real with you, men crave certain things in sex that they'll never openly admit. They may act like it's all about the physical, but underneath the surface, there are desires they secretly long for, things that make them feel alive, desired, and completely consumed by you. When you understand these secrets, you'll realize it's not about being perfect in bed. It's about unlocking the emotions that make him addicted to you. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 sex secrets men crave, the things that separate average intimacy from the kind of connection he'll replay in his mind for years. And as you listen, I want you to keep asking yourself, am I giving him this? Because if you are, you'll never just be another woman in his past. You'll be the one who redefined what great sex means to him. When a man thinks back to what made sex unforgettable, one of the deepest cravings underneath it all is the feeling of being truly desired. And here's what most people miss. Men might project confidence. They might act like they're always the pursuer, the one in control. But the truth is, they carry the same quiet vulnerability women do. They wonder, does she really want me? Does she find me irresistible? Am I the man who excites her? They may never say those words out loud, but in bed, that question is always lingering in the background. And when a woman answers that question with her energy, with the way she touches him, looks at him, and responds to him, that's when he feels something he can't get enough of. Think about it. Imagine the difference between 2 scenarios. In the first, you're passive, waiting for him to make every move, responding when he initiates, but never really showing your hunger for him. He enjoys it, sure, but it feels like something's missing, like he's performing, like he's doing something to you instead of something you're both intoxicated by together. Now imagine the second scenario where he sees in your eyes that you can't wait to touch him, where you lean in close, breathe him in, let your hands wander, and make him feel like you're the one who can't get enough. That difference is night and day. In the second, his entire body comes alive because in that moment he feels wanted, chosen, devoured. This is why the sexiest thing you can do for a man isn't always about technique. It's about transmitting that raw, genuine desire. A single look, the way you bite your lip when you glance at him, the way your hand lingers on his chest as if you're savoring the feel of him. All of those small gestures tell him, I want you so badly right now. And believe me, that message does more for his confidence, his arousal, and his sense of connection than anything else. Because when he feels like you're hungry for him, he relaxes, he lets go, and he gives himself to you fully. This is also where many women underestimate their power. They think men don't need reassurance. They think, he's a guy, he'll just assume I want him. But men crave that validation more than they'll ever admit. And it's not about words, it's about that unspoken, undeniable energy. When you run your hands through his hair with impatience, when you kiss him with that extra heat, when you pull him closer like you couldn't resist even if you tried, that's when he feels like the most attractive man in the world. And that's what makes the sex unforgettable. I'll tell you something else. This feeling of being desired doesn't just excite him physically, it bonds him emotionally. Because suddenly he's not just the pursuer, he's the pursued. And that flips a powerful switch inside him. Most men are so used to being the one chasing that when a woman shows she's just as hungry, it disarms him. It makes him open up. It makes him trust the moment. He starts to think she's not here because she feels obligated. She's here because she genuinely wants me. And that thought is what makes him crave you again and again. So if you want to make sex unforgettable for a man, don't underestimate the power of showing desire. Don't hold back out of shyness. Don't wait for him to initiate everything. Give him that fire in your eyes, that urgency in your touch, that passion in your kiss. Because when you do, you're not just giving him pleasure, you're giving him the intoxicating gift of feeling truly wanted. And for a man, there's nothing sexier, nothing more addictive and nothing he'll remember more vividly than that. One of the biggest secrets to what men consider great sex is the feeling that it's not scripted. If every time you're together it follows the same pattern, the same rhythm, the same order, eventually it becomes predictable. And predictability is the enemy of passion. Men crave that thrill of the unknown, the sense that this moment could go anywhere, that you could surprise him at any second. It's not about having some wild new technique every time. It's about creating that spark of unpredictability that keeps him on edge in the best possible way. Think about the moments in life that feel the most exciting. They're usually the ones that are spontaneous, where you didn't know what was coming next. Sex works the exact same way. When he can't anticipate your next move, when you lean in and whisper something he never expected, when you suddenly take the lead, when you laugh in the middle of passion and shift the energy, that's when he feels alive. That's when he thinks this woman makes every experience new. And here's what's so interesting. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Sometimes it's just a small change of rhythm, an unexpected touch, a playful look that throws him off his guard. Maybe you grab his hand and place it somewhere you want it. Maybe you climb on top without warning. Maybe you kiss down his neck slowly when he thought you were about to do something else. Those little moments break the routine and remind him that he's not on autopilot. He's in something wild, electric, and alive. Men may not talk about this openly, but routine intimacy makes them feel disconnected. It makes them feel like they're going through the motions. What they crave is that feeling of discovery, of unpredictability, of not knowing exactly what's going to happen next. And the beautiful part is you don't have to plan it out. In fact, planning ruins it. What makes spontaneity so intoxicating is that it's born from the moment. It's the way you respond to your desire right then and there without hesitation. Imagine the difference between lying back and waiting for things to unfold versus suddenly grabbing him by the collar and pulling him into a kiss so passionate he forgets what he was about to do. That single act will send his mind into overdrive because he realizes he can't predict you, and that unpredictability is addictive. He starts to anticipate that you'll surprise him again, which keeps him more present, more engaged, and more turned on every time. Here's another truth. The unscripted energy isn't just about physical moves, it's about emotional playfulness. It's the laughter that bubbles up in between kisses, the mischievous grin you flash before doing something bold, the way you tease him with your words before giving him what he wants. That mix of lightheartedness and unpredictability creates a chemistry that lingers long after the moment is over. It's what makes him think, I never know what she'll do next, and that drives me crazy in the best way. And let's not forget, when you bring this energy, it doesn't just excite him, it liberates him. Because suddenly, he doesn't feel pressured to perform or stick to a certain script either. He gets to play, to experiment, to let go. You're giving him permission to be present and adventurous with you. And that shared freedom is what turns sex from ordinary into extraordinary. So if you want to make sex unforgettable for a man, embrace that unscripted energy. Surprise him with your touch, your words, your movements. Keep him guessing. Let him see that with you. Every moment is fresh, unpredictable, and alive, because when you bring that, he'll never grow tired of intimacy with you. Instead, he'll crave it, because he'll know that with you, passion will never feel routine. If there's one thing men will rarely admit, but always feel, it's that the sex they remember the most isn't just about physical intensity. It's about emotional electricity. And this is where so many women underestimate their power. Because while men may look like they're focused on the visual, the physical, the obvious surface level things, what really imprints on them is the emotional connection you create in the heat of the moment. It's that energy between you that makes everything feel amplified. Think about it. Anyone can provide physical pleasure. Technique can be copied, positions can be repeated, and physical touch is something he could get from anyone. But when a man walks away saying that was unforgettable, what he's really remembering is how he felt in your presence. Was there that spark of connection that made him feel alive? Did he sense that you were truly present with him, not distracted, not holding back? Did he feel seen and desired on a deeper level? That's what emotional electricity does. It elevates sex into something addictive. Eye contact is one of the most powerful ways to create this. It's simple, but when done in the right moment, it can feel almost overwhelming. When you hold his gaze, when you let him see that you're fully immersed in him, it sends a message that goes beyond physical attraction. It says, I'm here with you. This isn't just sex. This is us. And men, even the ones who act the toughest or the most detached, are deeply affected by that. It makes them feel connected in a way they can't explain, but they know they want to experience it again. Another way emotional electricity is built is through presence, being in the moment, sensing with his rhythm, letting your breath match his, letting your body respond naturally instead of worrying about how you look or whether you're doing it right. Men can feel when you're in your head versus when you're in your body. When you let yourself surrender to the experience, when you allow those genuine sounds, movements, and reactions to come through, it makes the atmosphere electric. Because he's not just having sex with your body, he's experiencing your soul in that moment. What's also powerful is the vulnerability emotional electricity brings. When you let down your guard, when you stop performing and start simply being with him, it opens up a new level of intimacy. That vulnerability could be a sigh, a soft whisper of his name, or a raw reaction you don't hold back. Men crave that, even if they don't say it, because it makes them feel that what's happening isn't just physical release. It's connection, it's meaning. It's two people giving a piece of themselves to each other. And here's the secret: once you've given a man that taste of emotional electricity, every other experience without it will feel empty to him. That's why some encounters leave him indifferent, while others leave him thinking about you long after. It's not that the physical wasn't enjoyable in both. It's that in one, he felt your presence, your passion, your energy. That's what lingers. That's what he craves. So if you want to create unforgettable sex, don't just focus on the physical moves. Tune into him. Hold his gaze. Let yourself feel instead of think. Respond to him with your whole body. Show him you're not just going through the motions, you're fully invested. Because when a man feels that emotional electricity with you, he doesn't just walk away satisfied, he walks away changed. He doesn't just remember the sex, he remembers you. One of the biggest misconceptions about men is that they always want to be in control. Yes, a lot of men enjoy taking the lead, but what truly blows their mind is when a woman flips the script and takes charge with confidence. Because in those moments, something powerful happens. He doesn't just feel like he's doing something to you. He feels like he's being chosen, claimed, and wanted. And that is a craving that runs deeper than most women realize. When you take the lead, you're showing him that you're not just there to receive, you're there to devour him. And that changes everything. Imagine being in his position. He's used to initiating, used to being the one who makes the first move, used to carrying the responsibility of creating the passion. But when you grab his hand and guide it exactly where you want it, when you push him back and climb on top with that look in your eyes that says, "You belong to me right now," he feels something primal. He feels your desire in action, not just in words. And that sense of being wanted is one of the greatest aphrodisiacs for a man. The truth is, men crave direction more than they'll ever admit. They love when you guide them. They love when you whisper what you want in their ear, when you take his body and use it for your pleasure, when you decide the rhythm, the pace, the intensity. It makes him feel like he's not just pleasing you, he's driving you wild. And when you express that through action, he starts to crave more of it because it feeds both his ego and his desire. But here's the secret: it's not just about physical moves. It's about the energy you bring when you step into that leadership role. Confidence is magnetic. When you show that you know what you want and you're not afraid to go after it, it unlocks a new level of attraction. It makes him admire you, respect you, and surrender to the moment in ways he might not normally allow himself, because your confidence gives him permission to let go. He doesn't have to think. He doesn't have to plan. He doesn't have to worry about whether he's doing it right. He just gets to follow your lead and be consumed by your passion. Taking the lead doesn't mean you always have to dominate the entire experience. Sometimes it's just about shifting the balance for a moment. Maybe you initiate the kiss when he least expects it. Maybe you decide where things go instead of waiting for him. Maybe you tease him by slowing things down when he's ready to speed up. Those small acts of leadership keep him guessing and keep him hooked because they show him you're an active participant, not a passive passenger. And here's something important: when you lead, you're also showing him vulnerability, because it takes courage to say, "This is what I want and I'm going to take it." Raw honesty is intoxicating. It tells him you're not just performing, you're expressing your real hunger, your real desires. And that makes him feel special, because it means you're not just doing something for him, you're doing something because you can't help yourself with him. That's when sex transforms from a physical act into a passionate exchange of power and surrender. So if you want to leave a man completely addicted, don't be afraid to lead. Take control sometimes. Show him your confidence, guide him, surprise him, own the moment. Because when you do, he won't just see you as a partner in bed. He'll see you as a woman who excites him on a level that no one else can. And that kind of excitement, that's what he'll crave over and over again. Here's something that almost no one talks about, but it's one of the most powerful secrets to what men consider great sex, the afterglow. The moments after passion have ended, when the room is quiet, the bodies are still, and there's nothing left but the energy between the two of you. For most women, this might seem like an afterthought, but for a man, those minutes after sex are where the experience either fades into just another physical release or transforms into a memory he can't stop replaying. Because the truth is, sex isn't just about climax, it's about connection. And connection doesn't end the second you both collapse in exhaustion. In fact, that's often when it begins. Men might not say it out loud, but they crave intimacy in the afterglow. They crave the way you rest your head against their chest, the way your hand absent-mindedly traces their skin, the way you still look at them as if you want more even though the moment has already passed. It's in those details that he feels your desire wasn't just about the act, it was about him. Think about the message it sends when you immediately roll away, grab your phone, or act as if nothing happened. It tells him the intimacy was temporary, a moment you've already moved past. But when you linger, when you cuddle into him, when you kiss him softly like you're savoring the quiet connection, it makes him feel secure, valued, and wanted long after the intensity has faded. That afterglow intimacy is what makes him lie there thinking this wasn't just sex, this was something deeper. And here's what makes it powerful: it doesn't take much. You don't have to talk for hours or perform some grand gesture. It's the subtle things, the warmth of your body close to his, the slow rhythm of your breathing against him, the gentle smile when your eyes meet. Men remember those little acts of closeness because they turn what could have been a fleeting physical act into an experience that touches their heart. Afterglow intimacy is also where trust is built. It's where he feels safe enough to be vulnerable, to let his guard down in ways he wouldn't outside that moment. And when you nurture that space, when you show him that your desire isn't transactional, but something genuine, you create an emotional bond that makes him crave not just sex with you, but closeness with you. So if you want to give a man the kind of sex he'll never forget, don't just focus on the build-up or the peak. Focus on what happens after. Stay with him, hold him, let him feel that even in stillness you're connected. Because for a man, great sex isn't just measured in passion. It's measured in the intimacy that lingers when the passion is over. And when you give him that, he won't just remember the sex, he'll remember how you made him feel like the only man in the world. So when a man looks back and says, that was the best sex of my life, it's not because of some perfect technique or a flawless performance. It's because of the way you made him feel. Desire, spontaneity, emotional electricity, confidence when you take the lead, and intimacy in the afterglow. Those 5 things are the difference between sex he forgets and sex he remembers forever. And here's the truth: you don't have to be anyone else. You don't have to compete with some fantasy he's seen in his head. You only have to embody these secrets in your own way. Because when you give a man not just your body, but your energy, your passion, and your presence, you'll own a space in his mind and in his heart that no one else can touch. So the next time you're with him, don't think about being perfect. Think about giving him the experience of being wanted, surprised, connected, guided, and held. Because when you do, he won't just walk away thinking that was amazing sex. He'll walk away knowing this woman is unforgettable. And if you found this powerful, I want you to take it a step further. Don't just listen and forget. Apply this. Ask yourself, which of these 5 secrets am I already giving him? And which one can I bring into our connection tonight? That's where the magic happens. If you loved this video, make sure you subscribe right now and hit the notification bell, because I have so much more to share with you about understanding men and creating the kind of love and intimacy you deserve. And if you know a woman who needs to hear this message, share this with her, because every woman deserves to feel empowered in the bedroom and beyond. This isn't just about sex, it's about creating moments that stay with him forever, and that's the power you hold.